whether
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Chapter, Medicare Guidance Simplified.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America.
Yeah.
On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Motor vessel Tosca. Motor vessel Tosca. Vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room. We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
Uh-oh. 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 Boom. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. The Tosca is now Tosta. At least the engine room is now Tosta because they attempted to go past the blockade, and the U.S. Navy fired on them, blowing a hole in the engine room of the Iranian-flagged cargo ship before seizing the vessel, marking the first known use of force under Washington's naval blockade as Tehran threatens retaliation. With what? With what? Are you going to put your fingers up in the air and go, pew, 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 pew? Really? Really? You got these little speedboats? You're going to, really? Good luck with that, Iran. Good luck. I mean, honestly, I love the fact. And by the way, welcome. It's Monday. How you doing? Oh, it's 420, dude. If you're like smoking weed, it's like cool and stuff, whatever. Yeah. It's 420. That's when people apparently blaze up, right? I mean, I'm not saying I have ever, not, done that. But no. I mean, very rarely and not anymore. Certainly not anymore. No. But anyway, today's 420. So all you stoners out there, what the hell is, honestly, everything smells like pot now. I swear to God, you go to New York City, go to Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is not as bad anymore, but every once in a while I'll go to my parking garage of my apartment, and, I'm being from the Midwest, my immediately thought is, somebody hit a skunk. What the heck? Somebody hit a skunk. And then I realized, no, it's somebody blazing up before they go to work in the morning. If you're doing that, you got a problem, right? You know that you've got a serious problem if you're blazing up before you go to work. So you might want to do something about that. Anyway, it's 420. The pride and hubris of the Iranian regime rearing its ugly head. You know what that sound we just heard from the ship? That sounds like permission. It sounds like permission for Donald Trump to waylay the snot out of what's left of Iran's infrastructure because they're just proud and stupid. The Iran is not planning to attend talks with the U.S. and Pakistan. So again, that sounds like permission. By the way, in case you're wondering, the ceasefire ends Wednesday, and that's when things are going to go boom, boom again.
I just spoke with President Trump for about 20 minutes, and he told me if Iran does not sign this deal, the whole country is getting blown up. He went on to say that bridges and power plants will be targeted if Iran does not sign this agreement. The president telling me that U.S. Special Envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are heading to Islamabad, Pakistan for meetings on Tuesday, possibly into Wednesday, to try and get this agreement across the finish line. The president telling Fox News this is a very simple deal, but this is the last chance for the Iranians. The president very clear in our conversation that he is not making the same mistake that President Obama made, giving cash to the Iranians and allowing them to continue a nuclear program.
That was dumb.
The deal on the table is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to ensure that the Iranians do not have this highly enriched uranium that is buried deep underground after Operation Midnight Hammer last summer. And again, the president telling Fox News that the entire country will be blown up. Bridges and power plants will be targeted if the Iranians do not sign this agreement.
And you got every chance in the world. You had every friggin' chance in the world. You had months before we even had the carrier group over there to come to the table, and your pride and your arrogance and all of this, you're still murdering people. Last week you did a public execution, and one was a female and all of this. So as far as I'm concerned, kill the bastards. Kill every dang one of them. I mean, talking about the Iranian regime. I'm talking about the last remnants of the Ayatollah and the IRCG. That's what I'm talking about. Kill every damn one of them. Because honestly, there's no dealing with them. They can't continue to exist in that country. They can't have any power in that country. The people, the free people of Iran Iran need to take over. And when that happens, greatness is going to happen all over the Middle East. Whether the Democrats like it or not, of course, the Democrats hated everything about this. They immediately declared it was, a disaster on day one. Chris Murphy, who's a terrible, terrible human being and senator, he was overseas in Spain, I guess, with Tim Rhodes, talking about how we're in desperate danger over here and we're a totalitarian regime and all of this seditious bullcrap is what it was. Talking about our country overseas, riling up our enemies overseas with regard to President Donald Trump, who is the lawfully elected president of the United States 3 times, but one time it was stolen. Here is Mike Waltz. He's not Waltz. He's not like Tim Roots. He's Mike Waltz. And he says everything's on the table with regard to Iran right now.
President Trump warned in his post this morning, if there's no deal, the U.S. will, quote, knock out every single power plant and
I'd listen to him.
Every single bridge in Iran. No more Mr. Nice Guy. If there is no deal by Wednesday, will the president extend the ceasefire agreement?
Nope, he knew.
Well, that's ultimately a decision for the president, and I'm certainly not going to negotiate on national television.
Understood, but is it on the table? Is it on the table? Is that possibility on the table?
Everything's on. Everything. Absolutely, everything's on the table, and the president's made it very
cardboard ayatollahs on the table.
Clear. He is prepared to de-escalate this conflict, as he should be. But I just want to get ahead of this other ridiculous and frankly irresponsible narrative that this would somehow constitute a, quote, war crime that we've heard from Democratic politicians, the media, and others in the international community. That is wrong. It's irresponsible. And we have a long history of taking down bridges, power plants, and other infrastructure that is powering Iran's military.
100%. Yeah, that's not going to go anywhere either. And the Democrats have a moist, romantic fantasy about, taking over both houses of Congress and impeaching Donald Trump, and we're going to do this. You know what? You could kiss my butt. It's not going to happen. You are so broken intellectually, so broken morally, Democrat Party. My God, you're trying to steal 4 seats in the state of Virginia, the state that actually started the Revolutionary War because of taxation without representation. And people in this state are really ticked off at the Democrat Party in Fairfax and Loudoun County. Oh, we are so mad about this. This is a state that still has a Gadsden flag as one of your possibilities for a license plate. A lot of people have Gadsden flags. And in case you didn't know, those aren't racist or anything. They just say, don't tread on me. Because if you do tread on me, like when you take away people's representation in D.C., that snake is going to reach up and bite you in the rear end. So that's going to happen if you try this. Vote no on this nonsense, this gerrymandering nonsense, because the Democrat Party can't win on ideas. They have to steal. And they see that they're sealing their own doom with regard to fraud and vote theft, and Harmeet Dillon's going in and cleaning out voter rolls and all of that stuff. So there you go. This is kind of funny. Elise Stefanik. I'm going to an event with Elise Stefanik on Wednesday. Not with her as a date or anything. I'm just going there, and I'm going to meet her, provided security doesn't block me. But I'm going on Wednesday to hang out with her and Mike Davis of Article 3 Project. I know, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of crazy that I've been invited to do stuff like this. Of course, I am waiting tables. That's the only thing. I'll be waiting tables. But I'm going on Wednesday. Here is Elise Stefanik shredding Wolf Blitzer last week because the Democrat Party, the letter networks, from day one, for the first time in almost any military campaign, has just whizzed on our soldiers, has just whizzed on our military, even though they're doing one of the most successful and overwhelming military campaigns in the history of the world to take down an evil regime that has been waging war on the world for 47 years. But the left hates Donald Trump so much they'd rather have people live in bondage. They would, because they're just awful. But here is Elise Stefanik shredding old Wolf Blitzer on CNN.
President Trump has repeatedly claimed victory against Iran since the conflict began, only to continue with all the fighting that's going on. Now he says the war is, quote, very
It's really not any fighting. We're just kicking their asses pretty much. Iran isn't doing much fighting.
close to over. Is that real?
Well, look at the military achievements.
Yeah.
The U.S. successfully
I want to report on those, Wolf.
destroyed the Iranian Navy, the
Yep.
Iranian army,
Sure.
the missile capabilities,
Ooh, yeah, that
and
was-
has opened up the Strait of Hormuz to
Yeah,
an international
Pretty
waterway,
much.
not allowing
Yeah, Iran has no capability to shut it down. So there you go.
Iran to hold that hostage. And if you take a step back, Wolf, this is a terrorist
And hopefully there's a cliff right behind you.
regime. This goes back to 1979. It's the greatest, the largest state sponsor of terrorism,
Yeah, they are.
funding Hamas and Hezbollah.
Yeah, there are a lot of Iranians who are celebrating the possibility of freedom, and Democrats hate it because Donald Trump's doing it.
They have blood of U.S. soldiers on their
They
hands.
do.
They funded the October 7th attacks
They did.
against Israel.
Yeah.
So this was a very strong peace through strength military operation.
Yep.
And it shows the success of the greatest military in the world with a very decisive commander-in-chief.
I know. The first president of the United States to have the cojones to go after these animals, these savages. Yeah, I said these savages. The first president. We don't need to put up with this nonsense. You know, it's honestly, it's like when you're on the you're in prison camp, and there's 5,000 of you and 2 guards. Maybe you ought to kind of. I know I'm not speaking for prisoners here, but I'm just saying if there's a possibility to overtake these morons who've been, they're very small, by the way. They just have little tentacles, and they do cowardly attacks by strapping bombs on their bodies and sending idiots out to blow themselves up, thinking they're going to go to heaven and meet a bunch of virgins. Whatever. So Donald Trump's the first person to say, you know what? I'm going to put you out like a cigarette under the butt of my heel. And that's what that's what we're doing. That's what we're in the middle of. And the Democrat Party is fighting all the way. And they're on the wrong side of history. All right. So we've got a loaded show today. Going to talk a lot about this referendum tomorrow. This attempt to gerrymander Virginia and take away the right to representation from half of Virginians. It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well for Democrats. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Right back. Hey guys, it's Carson. You know my signature phrase, don't catch the stupid. When it comes to Medicare, that's easier said than done. Medicare is overly complex with thousands of plans, hidden gotchas in the fine print, and rules nobody really explains to you. Many people just pick something and hope for the best. That's why you need to know about Chapter. They're the only advisor that looks at every plan in the country, matches your doctors, your prescriptions, and your situation to a plan that fits your needs. When your call with Chapter is done, you know your doctors are covered. Your prescriptions are matched, and you go from, I hope I did this right, to, I know I did. That, my friends, is peace of mind. A call with Chapter is free for my audience, and there's no pressure to sign up. Call Chapter today. Here's the number, 27 Medicare. That's 27 MEDICARE. 27 Medicare for Chapter. No pressure. What's your excuse? Call 27 Medicare and don't catch the stupid yourself. Call 27 Medicare today. To give Baltimore complete.
Newsmax.com/listen for details.
This thing for us is right here. 25% of Democrats in our poll are voting no. So we got a heck of a shot to win this thing.
Come on now.
Well, we're not going to do
That
it
is John Fredericks.
if we don't get out the base, and we don't do it without your help. So we got to get in there and vote. We got to vote no, and I'm telling you what. They are shaking in their boots tonight. They thought this thing was a done deal, and they don't know what is about to hit them on April 21st when we reject this ridiculous referendum, shock the world, and keep Virginia safe.
Come on, baby. That's exactly right. You know what? How dare they do this to this state? You know, I got to tell you, I moved to Virginia, lived in Maryland for a dozen years, and just wanted to live in Virginia. Moved to Virginia. They elect this crazy cat lady, Abigail Scamburglar. And then they just decided to do this massive power grab. They lied about everything. And I'm going to tell you what, you've messed around with the wrong people. When I moved here, I had no idea. I remember I living in Kansas City in the summer of 2020, all these idiots burning down buildings and trying to burn down the St. John's Church and burning down cities and tearing down statues and all of this nonsense. And I'm driving up down the streets here in Northern Virginia, and you still see Lee and Jefferson and Washington streets, and you still see the pride in the founding of our country. And I'm going to tell you what, I haven't felt so proud. I mean, I've been proud of my country my whole darn life, but not nearly as proud as I am right now. And you do not want to mess with Virginia. I'm telling you. You don't want to mess with it. They have stepped in it. They've stepped in a hornet's nest. We're going to get to this very shortly on the radio program. By the way, the construction of President Donald Trump's White House ballroom can proceed. A federal appeals court ruled late Friday night. The judgment came just 24 hours after a lower court continued to block above-ground rebuild on the site of the former East Wing. They're just being D-words for Richard. They're just being jerks. They wanted that thing done forever. They've wanted that thing done for 100 years. And because Donald Trump is doing it, these a-hole judges are, I said it, whatever, who cares, are doing this. And the same thing goes with the Arc de Triomphe. They want to do an Arc de Triomphe. And apparently, way back to Pierre Dupont, they wanted to have this Arc de Triomphe in Washington, D.C. And did you know that Donald Trump is the first builder to occupy the White House since Thomas Jefferson? So honestly, enough. Just done. Just done with your nonsense. Done with your temper tantrums. Done with all of this absolute crap. My goodness, totally done. And then of course, Democrat Chris Murphy, who is a seditious POS. He's the guy who on day one of Operation Epic Fury, after we killed the Ayatollah, vaporized him, sent him to paradise with 51 virgin goats. He said it was a disaster. Now he's overseas this weekend. And here's the kind of crap that he's saying overseas. This is seditious. It is. This is absolutely wholly inappropriate for a member of our parliament to go abroad and say such things.
We are not on the verge of an authoritarian takeover. We are in the middle of an authoritarian takeover.
No, we had that with Joe Biden when he was made the candidate, and then they rigged the election, and then of course Kamala Harris, after we all discovered that Jake Tapper discovered he had dementia, became the candidate for the Democrats. So we've been kind of ruled by a totalitarian for a few years until Donald Trump came along, and we elected him.
But Trump has not won. Our democracy is in peril, but it can be saved.
No, it's actually stronger than ever. You tried to kill it. You opened the southern border to tens of millions of people unscreened for disease, criminality, or even being members of an opposing military.
But no one's riding to our rescue, and I just want to be clear with you about that today. No one's riding to our rescue. There aren't establishment responsible Republicans that are riding to our rescue. The mainstream media isn't riding to our rescue. There's no oligarchs riding to...
You are oligarchs. Barack Obama, Hillary and Bill Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, they're all oligarchs. They never built anything. They never made anything. They just took taxpayer money, and now they're all, old Bernie Sanders has 4 houses. Nancy Pelosi's worth $500 million or something like that. What'd she build? No, she's an oligarch. That's what it is. Here's a little more from Chris Murphy in another appearance overseas.
Want to bring you greetings as well from a nation that is in crisis.
No, we're not. No, we're not. 250 year and we're kicking butt.
I'm not going to sugarcoat the gravity of what we face right now in the United States. This is the most significant threat to American democracy since the Civil War.
No, I'm going to say it was the Biden administration with the censorship, industrial complex, and all that. Weaponization of the DOJ against Donald Trump and trying to take him out of office and effectively do a coup.
In the United States, this is the most significant threat to American democracy since the Civil War.
No, it's not at all.
Donald Trump in our country is trying to end our democracy. We are not on the verge of a totalitarian takeover. We are in the middle of it.
No, we're not. You're just a freaking liar. Honestly, you're just a drama queen, and you're just a liar. And I would say shame on you, but it really has no bearing here because they have no shame. They just don't have any shame. So there's that. I mean, honestly, have you heard Republicans do that? Go overseas and do talk seditiously about the president of the United States? So that it is. Like I said, it's kind of another step that we've never seen before. Like when they, of course, immediately attacked our military for their amazing success against Iran. They are just awful people, morally and intellectually bankrupt. I want to mention the trip to D.C. We have spaces available. Coming up October 25th through the 29th, 5 days, 4 nights. This is the last time Donald Trump presumably is going to be the president of the United States. We're in the 250th year of our birth. We've had a tremendous military success in Iran, and we're knocking on victory's door. We won both gold medals in hockey this year. We flew a crew around the dark side of the moon, and landed them safely. America is back. Manufacturing is back. I want you back. And by the way, crime is down so dramatically in Washington, D.C., 25% overall. Car theft down 50%. It's unbelievable. It's clean and it's beautiful. And we paid for it, so why don't you come and join me? Okay, so we're going to have 5 days, 4 nights, luxury accommodations downtown, 6 meals, ground transportation, guides, and gratuities. We're going to go to the U.S. Capitol Building, Arlington National Cemetery, changing of the guard, all the monuments. Going to go see the Lincoln Memorial, going to see the reflecting pond there, the pool where MLK delivered that I Have a Dream speech, and the Washington Monument, and the mall, and all of that. So if you've been dreaming about doing this, come and join us. Travelwithrob.net. Book that today, okay, because we've got some spaces available. A lot of you have been asking for the brochure. We haven't pulled the trigger yet. So what I need you to do, go to travelwithrob.net, book your trip today, 800-383-3131, 800-383-3131. James Rosen, Newsmax, Washington, D.C. Bureau Chief, joins us after the break. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I can still crush it at the gym, carry an armchair by myself, or do any home improvement project without pain during or after, and that's Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, the two things that matter most, it works and you trust it. Relief Factor was created by a combat wounded Vietnam veteran. He decided to become a doctor simply to help people, to heal them. If pain is holding you back, find out why so many people, including me, make Relief Factor a part of their daily routine. Try the 3-week quick start today. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Two girls that Swalwell groped before. They say there's 50, maybe more. It's a sordid tale. Eric should be in jail for all the girls he groped before. It finally forced his resignation. He left the Congress in disgrace. And now we have an explanation why female staffers carried mace. To all the girls that he attacked, and to the women who fought back, Swalwell needs to pay. Arrest Eric today for all the girls that he attacked. To all the years that he should serve, a prison stay he does deserve.
Hey guys, it's Carson. I just got a ghost bed. Yeah, no, pay attention here, because I've been sleeping on a foam mattress since I moved to the Washington, D.C. area, which is like sleeping on the sponge in your sink. Ghost Bed doesn't build mattresses like furniture. They build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment. Beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I have been sleeping past 7 in the morning on my Ghost Bed. It's unbelievable. If you wake up stiff, you toss and turn, if you sleep hot, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping tonight will be different, that's not aging. It's your mattress talking. Another great thing I love about Ghost Bed, you get 101 nights to try it at home. If you don't like the difference, you can send it back risk-free. Ghost Bed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. You are going to love your new Ghost Bed. Taxman gave it to me in the shorts this week.
I'm the taxman. Yeah, I'm the taxman.
That was me doing harmony. Yeah, I know, I do background vocals. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline, and what a glorious introduction for not only the greatest Beatles fan probably in the history of mankind, bordering on obsession, but also Newsmax Chief Washington, D.C. correspondent James Rosen. How are you on this glorious Monday, sir?
I'm offended. First of all, you sang over the damn thing, and what do you mean bordering on obsession? I take great pride in my obsessiveness on this.
I sing background vocals, brother, so get used to it. By the way, just real quick, I want to mention this, and I do mean this in all sincerity. You really have opened my eyes to the Beatles. I know I used to tease you about, oh yeah, they're a great boy band, and of course, you should see the steam coming off his head. It's crazy. But like Revolver, I've been watching a little documentary on the album Revolver. You want to talk about like one of the most diverse records ever? I mean, everything from pop to experimental this to, I mean, like every song. A lot of people say like, oh yeah, Oasis, they're like the Beatles. I'm like, you're not even close. Not even close. When you look at even the Stones, and I love the Stones, don't get me wrong, but just sheer inventiveness of that band when they were in their prime is pretty crazy.
You know, Revolver, the album you're mentioning, which is often listed as the greatest rock album of all time, came out 60 years ago this summer. I'm grateful that it only took 60 years for us to open your eyes and your ears to the magic and charms of the Beatles. Just think what we can accomplish in the next 60 years together, Ron.
I just wonder if the smell of the Beatles' votive candles in your office will be overpowering to the rest of the building that month. So anyway.
You know, I'm trying to think of that. I can't even come up with the name of it. It's this thing that this psychedelic thing that people keep on their desk that sort of looks like jellyfish floating up. I can't even remember the name of it. That's how fried I am.
Is it a lava lamp?
A lava lamp.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right,
I would not have come up with that.
Well, you know why you forgot? Because today's 420.
Yeah. and I hit it early. I mean,
You're not exactly somebody I'd put up there with the suspected of blazing up. Not so much. Let's talk about what's going on in the news. Iran kind of poking the bear a little bit. We've got the deadline for the ceasefire coming up on Wednesday. Donald Trump is once again saying, okay, we will just bomb the snot out of you. What are you hearing?
I think certainly amongst Republicans, there's a lot of anxiety about the fact that this conflict has no real end date associated with it, but that they do have a very real date for the midterm elections, and that this is going to be a drag on Republican candidates across the country, both for House and Senate. And you factor in the anxiety just over being at war, put together with the particular impacts of this conflict, which weigh heavily on energy prices. And it is a source of real agita for the president's allies in the Congress and throughout the country. For those of us who welcomed the president's decision to launch these attacks on Iran,
right over here,
in concert with the Israeli Defense Forces, there's also apprehension about the signals this is sending to America's adversaries around the world. The president got off to a great start.
Fear? Like fear? Like, holy crap, look what they're doing to Iran? Is that what you're thinking there, James?
Well, perhaps, but I think also there is a sense that when the president of the United States draws a red line, such as President Obama did in Syria, where he said if the Syrian government uses chemical weapons on its own people, that would be a red line for us, and then he declined to enforce that red line.
Of course.
He was roundly criticized across the foreign policy spectrum for hemorrhaging U.S. credibility.
Wow.
In this instance, we had a president of the United States at the outset of this operation who said two things. Number one, that his terms for ending the conflict would be unconditional surrender. And those are words that have great power and meaning in American history and in military history. And now, instead of prosecuting the conflict until that objective was achieved. The president is instead negotiating with the Iranians, which is the very opposite of unconditional.
Well, he's negotiating a surrender.
Well, there was supposed to be unconditional surrender, and the conditions for this negotiation, Rob, were those put forward in one of these 10-point plans by the Iranians that the president said that he found workable. Remember where the origin of the phrase. In 1862, Union forces led by General Ulysses S. Grant were pursuing Confederate forces to seize control of a garrison in Tennessee. And this involved tens of thousands of men. And finally, when the Confederate rebels had their backs to the wall, their leader sent a telegram or word to the Union forces that they wanted to negotiate the terms of surrender. And General Grant's reply reportedly was, my terms are unconditional and immediate surrender. So here the President of the United States laid down a red line. This stops when there's unconditional surrender, not when there's a 10-point plan that we find workable. And to longtime observers of foreign policy, it's the same mistake that President Obama made.
Oh, I would say it's very far from the same mistake that Obama made, but we agree to disagree. And by the way, I love it when you share pieces of history. I really do. I enjoy hearing your narrative. I really, really do.
Thank you.
You were quite well spoken. I don't think I'm the first person to say that.
Don't tell anybody this because you'll spoil my image. But thank you, Rob.
Well, what about I hear the White House ballroom now. A judge has cleared it. Have you been by the White House with the giant hole in the yard there?
I haven't been observing the construction site firsthand.
Yes.
But I don't really have a problem with it myself.
Oh, no.
I got to tell you, presidents of the United States have often done things to the White House. Harry Truman gutted the place, really.
Yeah.
So that strikes me as kind of much ado about nothing. And if there is to be a military bunker underneath it, that too will be a welcome thing. One of the books I published was called Cheney One-on-One, and this was a collection of transcripts of 10 hours of oral history interviewing that I did with former Vice President Dick Cheney in 2014.
Yep.
And we spent a lot of time, as you might imagine, on 9/11, both the lead-up, but also the day of 9/11, when really it was Vice President Cheney who was running the federal government from that bunker below the White House called the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, or the PEOC, while President Bush at the time was sort of hopscotching around the country on Air Force One.
Oh, yeah.
And Vice President Cheney told me that the PEOC was terribly outdated and antiquated in its communications facilities for him and the other key members of the White House staff who were there in the bunker with him, with which to manage the federal government and maintain continuity of the federal government in a time of foreign attack and crisis.
Yeah.
He said that it was sort of a World War II era facility. So to the extent that President Trump is rectifying that, I think it's something that's going to be of value to many presidents going down the line.
Yeah, and also I might mention that they've been talking about this thing forever, and they've been having these little soirees in tents in the backyard, for crying out loud. So Trump's finally doing it. James Rosen, can you hold on through the break and continue on the other side? I want to talk about, you're talking about the possibility of a tariff refunds is what possibly could happen. More with James Rosen, maybe even another Beatles bumper music. Maybe a little bit more of that coming up on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCVM.
All right, Brian, give it to me. Come on. All right, I didn't sing any background vocals there because I didn't want to raise James Rosen's hackles. Brian was saying that this is a great song, but it can't hold a candle to Henry VIII I Am by Herman's Hermits.
This is meant to provoke?
Yeah, of course
what
it
we're
is.
doing now?
Of course, because I am the annoying tourist, American tourist, and you are the Buckingham Palace guard. That is our that is our dynamic.
No, it's probably a very suitable piece of music to play on the bumper here because you indicated right at the break that you wanted to discuss the refunds for tariffs that are being administered starting today by the Trump administration following that adverse Supreme Court ruling in February. So this is indeed starting today a chance for those importers who paid the tariffs which were later ruled illegal or unconstitutional by the United States Supreme Court to get back
there you go.
some $166 billion in fees.
Yeah. Well, I think that reciprocal tariffs are not a problem. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, Trump has found a new way to go around that ruling, so we're still getting 15% tariff, so I'm assuming there's a possibility that this will kind of even out.
Yeah, the Supreme Court, when it ruled 6-3 that the president could not invoke a particular 1977 emergency powers law as the basis for his Liberation Day tariffs around the world, the court more or less invited him to invoke another legal authority to justify those tariffs and suggested that it might look more kindly upon a different authority. It was just that no president had ever used that 1977 emergency powers law for tariffs.
Gotcha.
The president, when that ruling came down in February, you may recall, swept into the briefing room for a long and angry news conference.
Yeah, I love those.
Blasting some of the justices who ruled against him, and particularly those he had appointed. And he made it clear when he was asked, are you going to pay refunds for all those importers who had paid out these fees for these tariffs, which was on the order of $166 billion. The president answered questions on that occasion by saying, well, it could take 2 to 5 years to litigate, so we'll see. But since that Supreme Court ruling, the Court of International Trade has ruled that the administration must begin making these payouts.
I think since the penny is no longer being made, that we should pay it off in pennies just to be annoying. Like when people do, your traffic tickets, they take a wheelbarrow full of pennies in there. I think we should pay it in the most difficult way to process possibly.
Like the way that the Blues Brothers paid Frank Oz at the very end to keep that Olympic joke.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, I guess the Arc de Triomphe, Donald Trump wants to build an Arc de Triomphe. Apparently, since the days of, I don't think it was DuPont, but one of the architects of the city wanted an Arc de Triomphe originally. This thing is going to be 270 feet high, but the arch itself is about 165, and then there'll be a statue on top of it, I guess.
Yeah, and the question I have is how are they going to keep this beautiful white and gold inflected triumphal arch free of the most profane anti-Trump graffiti? That's what I want to know.
I know.
Because I suspect that the people who professionally graffiti things are going to be trained on that structure once it's up.
I'm thinking there'll be some security around there to prevent that. By the way, I want to mention your book, which I'm looking on Amazon. Bestseller, thank you very much. Scalia, Supreme Court Years, 86 to 2001. Are you doing the audiobook? Because I could listen to you read all day, brother.
You're very kind. There is an audiobook coming out next month. I am not the reader of it.
What?
That's probably for the best, because I probably would have started lapsing into actual impersonations of the different characters. And that might have raised some hackles.
You'd be like the guy who did all the voices for the Harry Potter audiobooks.
Just think of me as Mel Blanc, someone who's tortured with 1,000 different voices and can't sleep at night.
Absolutely. James Rosen, real pleasure having you on, my friend. People can find you online at James Rosen TV on Twitter, right? Anywhere else?
on X. It's called X.
Sorry about that.
You're in this medium. This is your livelihood. What's wrong with you?
James Rosen.
TV and, of course, Newsmax.
Of course. Very good. Skilly of the Supreme Court years 86 to 2001, the audiobook on next week. Thanks for joining me, brother. Have a great weekend, okay? Or a great week. All right. All righty. James Rosen is a blast. I love you. I just love this guy. I tell you what. Can anybody else, have you ever heard James Rosen talk to anybody else like this? There's nobody that can do this. I enjoy it. It gives you a different perspective. And I genuinely like this guy. He is a really cool guy. And I go over to his office over at Newsmax. We have these wonderful little confabs hanging out in the office, and he's a brilliant guy. And he really has, honestly. I was never a big Beatles guy. And I'm still, not, but I'm marveling at learning about the band. I like a lot of their music. They're still not my favorite band, but I'm fascinated by how they change music. Real quick, the Learn and Earn event is going on for Birch Gold, and it's going on till the end of the month. It's already the 20th, for goodness sake. So 10 more days to get signed up. A lot of gold companies, they're going to hustle you. They're going to tell you got to buy. We need to buy now, blah, blah, blah. Birch Gold realizes the best thing you can do with your money is to learn about investments before pulling the trigger. And so Birch Gold is going to give you this free online seminar, and you can actually earn precious metals with your purchase and learn as you earn, or earn as you learn, okay? So what you need to do if you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, and I did too, by the way, I had a 401k from selling cars. All of that money went into precious metals with Birch Gold. All of it did. Every penny of it. I said, I'm doing it. Pulling the trigger. Just text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to the number 989898. No pressure, just information. You'll graduate with a degree in precious metals and no student loan debt. Text Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold's Learn and Earn event. Ends the end of this month, so do that now. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
Man,
I miss
playing football.
I was
Ever
just
since I
looking at a
turned
message
40,
from James
I just
Rosen.
can't find that fire rate.
Hold on, kids. How are ya? Mo 167. You misspelled Beatles. It's Beatles. Don't want to call you out. I'm just going to say. Let's see. Camera with facial recognition and sharpshooters for the Arc de Triomphe. I don't know if sharpshooting, but certainly pepper balls would be fun. Yeah. Let's see. Good to see all you guys watching on the Rumble. Carson Show, please let Rob pick and choose the music. All the bumper music I choose myself. Except for Get Back. Brian just chose that at WCBM in Baltimore, so there's that. Brian did a great job, by the way. I thought Get Back was nice. I thought Get Back was pretty kick-ass, to be quite honest. Oh, who's watching on YouTube? Rita in Tennessee. What's going on? Ricardo Ramirez. How are you? Congressional medal, that is horrible disrespect, slap in the face of all veterans and active duty personnel. I don't even know what that is. But it's nice to have you watching. I do appreciate you. Ricardo, thank you. On X. Hello, everybody on X. Lots of people watching on X. Lots and lots of people on X. Let me go over to the Facebook. I posted a couple really good videos on all my social media today about this referendum in Virginia tomorrow. And then just one I did last night when I was down on the water, the Potomac, and just love it. What do we got here? Oh, here we go. Would you like a little excitement for a change? Here we go. All right.
Got 340 here.
Oh, I discovered some new music this weekend. Woo! Woo! There's a guy named Sean Mann. If you thought that Stevie Ray Vaughan was dead, you are wrong. His ghost has possessed the body of Sean Mann. Oh, my goodness. Seanmann. Stevie's alive. Stevie's alive and living. I discovered some great guitarists this weekend. I had a marvelous weekend. I went to Rehoboth, and of course, just in time to go to the beach. It was 54 degrees and foggy. But it was still 54 degrees and foggy in Rehoboth. WGMD, our affiliate station there in Rehoboth area, Delmarva area, welcomed me, and it was such a wonderful experience to see you guys up there. I went down to the boardwalk. There's nothing like an East Coast boardwalk with Thrasher's fries and all of that, and I had what was the name of the ice cream joint I went to this weekend? Oh my God, it was so bloody good. It was so good. I'll think of it in a second here, but Kilwin's ice cream. You ever had Kilwin's ice cream? I mean, my God. No. And we went to this other ice cream place. My agent, Stephanie, and I go into this ice cream joint, and we're like, this just kind of looks okay. We went over to Kilwin's because there's a Kilwin's not too far from me, so we got to go to Kilwin's, right? And I got 2 big scoops, and I was like, I could not eat all this. And she, listen, an adult woman, orders a big cone and then a side of sprinkles. And the reason being is every time she took a bite and took the sprinkles off, she would dip it into the sprinkles. Literally like a half a cup of sprinkles. I'm like, are you an adult? Are you an adult? Anyway, she's like having ice cream with Meg Ryan in When Harry Met Sally. It was just kind of funny, but it was a joy. It was a joy to be there. And last night I did a video on my social media. Check out all my social media at either Rob Carson Show or Rob Carson, Instagram, TikTok, X, Truth Social is gigantic. I've got over 2 million followers. Getter, Facebook, all of those. I posted these videos. I posted one this morning I made on a cobblestone street here in Northern Virginia. It's amazing. And maybe when we have you guys here for the trip to D.C., you can head across the river to Old Virginia and see where the country started, really. It's remarkable. You got a couple of these old cobblestone streets. They left them just like they were in the 1700s. And I think it's a way for the city leaders to say, if you think our streets suck now, go ahead and drive down that and see how you're doing. And don't try to walk in heels. But I did do a video talking about how the Revolutionary War, the United States did not create Virginia. Virginia created the United States. Virginia created the United States because the Brits were treading on us and we bit them in the butts. And right now the Democrats in this state are trying a hostile takeover of the state by taking away Republican representation by gerrymandering. And they got an insane cat lady who I want to see and will see recalled before her tenure is over as governor of this state. The referendum is tomorrow. If you haven't voted, vote no. Vote no today, vote no tomorrow. Democrats will try voting 10 times. Dead people will try to. You might want to put guard on the cemetery in case Democrats try to vote for this. But we got to vote no on it. More on that coming on the other side of the break. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show. Hello, welcome to it. We have much to get to before the end of the radio program. I mean, a lot of stuff. John Solomon's got all sorts of breaking news with regard to Jim Comey. Could be going to, it could be going to the Stony Lonesome. Hopefully. Also, I'll mention Thane Rosenbaum, legal analyst, law professor, is going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour. He's always a delightful conversation as well. In the state of Virginia, the Democrat Party is trying to take away the representation of Republicans in Washington, D.C. And if I'm not mistaken, Virginia was one of the states that started the Revolutionary War because of the same thing.
They knew that now they'd run their own land. But George III still vowed he'd rule them to the end. Anything I say, do it my way now. Anything I say, do it my way. Don't you get to feeling independent, cause I'm gonna force you to obey. He taxed their property, he didn't give them any choice. And back in England, he didn't give them any voice. That's called taxation without representation, and it's not fair. But when the colonies complained, the king said, I don't care.
Can you tell that I was a latchkey kid in the, when I was growing up? Listening to Schoolhouse Rock. Well, I hate to tell you this, but Schoolhouse Rock still, kids listen. My kids listen to Schoolhouse Rock when they were in school. I think they did some new ones about being transgender and non-binary. But anyway, yeah, it's taxation without representation, and it's not fair. And so you know what happens after that?
He even has the nerve to tax our cup of tea.
Come on.
To put it kindly, King, we really don't agree. Gonna show you how we feel. We're gonna dump this tea.
Dump it right there in the harbor.
Turn this harbor into the biggest cup of tea in history.
There you go.
They wanted no more
Now they were done.
mothering.
So we went to war.
They knew the time had come for them to take command. It's very clear you're being unfair, King. No matter what you say, we won't obey.
Sorry, I just love this.
Gonna hold a revolution now, King, and we're gonna run it
all our way with no more king.
We're gonna elect a president.
No more king.
He's gonna do what the people want.
No more king.
We're gonna run things our way.
No more king. And then these idiot hippie dope morons who were paid by George Soros decided to take that away from us. Oh yeah, it's no more kings. Here, Donald Trump is a king. Shut up. Anyway, I saw a bunch of those idiots on bridge overpasses. There are a couple of them morons. And it was about the Pope this weekend. It was about the fight that Trump is having with the Pope. It's so stupid. It's like, oh, what are we going to print on the signs this week? Oh, Donald Trump's fighting with the Pope. Okay, there were like 3 people on the bridge. I was like, I don't know if they could see my middle finger from down below, but it was right there. That's what they want to do. They want to take away our representation in Virginia. I live in Virginia. I pay taxes in Virginia. They want to take my representation away from me. It ain't going to end very well for them. I'm going to tell you right now. Not going to end very well. Here is Jason Miyares, the former AG of the state of Virginia.
Well, what we've seen is a real grassroots army that has emerged, pushing back on these self-serving politicians that have tried to disenfranchise millions of Virginians. They're trying to literally take away the voices of rural Virginians. 56 counties are no longer...
Do you think that revolutionary spirit is no longer alive in Virginia? You would be wrong.
You could have a voice in Congress. They're taking a seat in Hampton Roads, Virginia, where I'm from, and they're going to give it to Northern Virginia. If the Yes campaign's successful, you're going to have 5 congressmen that literally live within a 15-mile radius.
They even wrote the amendment or whatever it is, the legislation to make it seem like it was about fairness when it was actually completely eliminating the representation of half of Virginia. It's really freaking insidious.
Of each other in Northern Virginia. It is a left-wing power grab, and so many Virginians, whether in the Shenandoah Valley, rural Virginia, Southwest Virginia, they're seeing what this is, and they're saying no. And I do find that ironic that Gavin Newsom, one of the worst governors in the country, is coming to campaign for a gerrymandering.
I hope that slime ball comes here. I hope that Gavin Newsom comes here, because I got my bullhorn ready, baby.
With Abigail Spanberger, who right now is the least popular governor in modern Virginia political history. I think they deserve it.
They're bringing Gavin Newsom to Virginia. Oh, that'll go over well. Dear God. I mean, oh my God, what a mess. Here is Jason Miyares explaining exactly what these Democrats who lied about what they stood for to get into office, changed everything. Abigail Scambergler, she said that I'm not interested in gerrymandering. I'm not going to raise taxes or anything. I'm going to make Virginia affordable. She gets into office. And what happens? They immediately go for this power grab, and then they raise taxes 80 freaking times, including on your dog grooming. They want to go after fantasy sports. Fantasy sports. All of your deliveries to your home, Uber Eats, Amazon. They want and then they want to get rid of gas leaf blowers, which have no impact on the environment at all, and replace them with electric stupid leaf blowers, and then tax them. That's just dumb.
It is the single most gerrymandered map in the entire country. So that's not me saying it. The Virginia Public Access Project, which is a nonpartisan group, has said that this would be the most gerrymandered map in the entire country. It literally would be more gerrymandered than even what you see in the state of Illinois.
You are poking a pit bull.
Just saying something. And it is the opposite of community of interest.
Yeah.
Hampton Roads loses a congressional seat.
Yeah.
Shenandoah Valley is suddenly drawn into 4 different congressional districts. You're going to have 5 congressmen that all reside within 20 miles of each other in Northern Virginia. This is the definition of a map that's...
Yeah, we're done with this, boy. Get out and vote no. I'm swear to you, better get out and vote no. Here is Tim Kaine. He is a sleazebag. I mean, what an embarrassment to this state. Both of the senators from this state are a freaking embarrassment. Tim Kaine, the red-nosed whatever. He was on talking to, I don't know who the hell he was talking to. He was talking to Martha Raddatz or something. Anyway, here's him lying. Here's him lying about gerrymandering and why they're doing it. And what he says here is so absurd as to be laughable.
90% of Virginians are not Democrats. That's true.
Correct.
But about 100% of Virginians want election results to be respected. We're deeply worried that Donald Trump will try to interfere.
No, you're not speaking for us. We're actually making the elections fair by getting dead people and illegals off the rolls.
With the election results this November or in 2028.
No, we're going to win fair and square, which we always do. You guys steal elections.
Because we saw him do it before.
No, we
and
didn't.
we have to have a Congress that will stand up to it. In 2021...
Yeah, so we got to take away your representation, Republicans.
All 5 Republicans in Virginia went along with Donald Trump in his effort to overturn election results. And so...
No, we wanted it investigated because obviously it was fraudulent.
We're giving Virginians a chance to vote, which Republican states have not done, about whether they want to have a congressional delegation that will stand...
Isn't this how Satan speaks? Isn't this how Satan speaks? You ever hear these conversations, biblical conversations with the devil? Speaks in that fashion, kind of twists the words around, makes the truth into a lie, makes the lie into a truth, kind of deceiving. Yeah, that's the Democrat Party right now. That is the Democrat Party right now, man. Here's Scott Jennings on CNN talking about what the Democrats are trying to do, and I don't believe we'll be successful. We've got to get out and vote no. Got to get out and vote no.
People of Virginia ought to vote no on this, if for no other reason than their radical governor flat lied to them. She told them during her campaign she had no interest in partisan gerrymandering. She wasn't going to push this. And it's the very first thing that she did. When I hear Barack Obama say, this will be a temporary redistricting, all I can hear is Barack Obama saying, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Yeah.
He lied then. He's lying now.
Yeah, and healthcare's still broken all these trillions of dollars later. But, man, I'll tell you what, the insurance companies made out like bandits. Woo-wee. They made trillions of dollars. Their stock prices went up dramatically. It was pretty amazing what old Obamacare did while not fixing healthcare. Yeah. This is brand new from the great Jim Gossett about Virginia Democrats.
A scheme, Abigail's voting scheme.
She's an insane cat lady.
To take votes away from each state.
She's a sociopath.
Circumvent the Electoral College. Must stop them before it's too late.
Come on, people.
This is their quest. Votes they want to rig.
Come on.
Results will be massive. The theft will be big.
Vote no.
Abigail has betrayed. She has sold out her state. It's unconstitutional. There can't be any debate.
No, there isn't.
So wrong. We must end it today.
Jim Gossett. Woo! Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, to help him out. Ads funded mostly by dark money groups that aren't required to disclose donors spent $50 million on advertising in favor of redistricting. Advertising against redistricting, some of it funded by dark money, $19 million. But it's not the evil dark money. It's Republicans who want freedom. And by the way, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, only 3% of money spent in favor of this power grab was from people in the state of Virginia. So you've got outside influences trying to take away our representation in the state of Virginia, and they have to be beaten into the pits of hell with a no vote. That's it. That's all. That's that. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Hey guys,
that was pretty good.
Birch Gold with $1
Jim,
convertibility into gold.
I'm going to play that again.
1971. Gold was fixed at $35.
Hey guys, it's Carson. If you are on Medicare or about to be, you could be overpaying right now and never know it. Here's why. Millions of seniors are in a plan that doesn't fit their needs. Because Medicare is complicated, many brokers just steer people into plans that pay them the most. That's absurd. That is so absurd, I decided to write a little slogan for it. Medicare sure ain't fair, and choosing a plan is a bear. Pick a plan with a broker if you dare, and you might end up with a scare. Okay, listen, it's a little rough. You need to know about Chapter. They're the only national advisor that looks at every plan in the country, matches your doctors, your prescriptions, and your situation to a plan that fits your needs. With Chapter, you'll see what a plan actually costs when you need it, not just the $0 some plans advertise. Your doctors are covered and your prescriptions are too. You'll have confidence you have the coverage you need. A call with Chapter is free, takes about 20 minutes. If you're turning 65 or are already on Medicare, call 27 Medicare. Again, that's 27 MEDICARE. Call 27 Medicare today.
Deported. Deported. Deported.
Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here.
deported. Deported.
East Coast, it's interesting. You know, you don't really scuba dive on the beach. You know, can't see the sand on the bottom because the water's, you know, filled with sediment, whatever. But you know, it's fun. It's fun. I don't like to sit on the beach though. I just don't. You know, I you know, a lot of people could sit there and, you know, read a book all day on the beach. I'm like, no. And I really don't like to have my feet in the sand that long. You know, played pickleball and all that. I'm like, okay, I'll do it 5 minutes, then I'm off to the boardwalk. But anyway. Thanks to my affiliate station, WGMD. What a wonderful radio station. Thank you so much. We're going back the end of May 30th, for a giant event for first responders. It's going to have thousands of people. Thousands of people. My ghost bed. Oh, my gosh. My ghost bed. Last night I woke up at 4:30 just because I, you know, woke with a start. I was having a dream. I don't know. Oh, I had a dream that I went out on a date with Judge Janine. I'm not kidding. It was fantastic. Oh. And so I'm like, okay. I got to get back to this dream. So I got up, got out of bed, had a little glass of milk, climbed back into ghost bed, right back to the date with Judge Janine, which ended up with a drink thrown in my face, actually. Anyway, ghost bed is fantastic. If you don't have a ghost bed or you haven't heard about the ghost bed, go to my social media and you see me talking about the ghost bed. This thing is the best darn bed I've ever had. When I moved here, I let my wife keep everything. I said, just keep it. I don't want the memories associated. Just keep all the stuff. I don't care. Keep the bed. I don't care. And I didn't want to move it across the country. So I ordered one of these foam mattresses online, and it was, you know, a lot of people endorsed it. It wasn't very good. It wasn't very good. So I moved it to the loft. That's where my daughter's going to sleep this summer. And I got a ghost bed, and this ghost bed is ridiculous. It's not just a foam mattress. It's a full-size queen mattress with a topper, and it's the best dang mattress ever. There's no springs or coils or anything weird like that in it, but it is so gloriously comfortable. It's amazing. I'm telling you, I've never slept this well in my life. Just go to ghostbed.com/Carson, ghostbed.com/Carson. It is spectacular. You're going to love it. You're going to save 10% by using my code name Carson, and it's already low priced. When you see the price on these beds, you're going to go, no friggin' way. There's no way you get in that bed for that money. And it's American-made. American-made ghost bed. Ghostbed.com/Carson. Kash Patel says there are some arrests coming for the deep state plot against Donald Trump.
I lived through it, and the media came at me then, too. That just shows you that when you're over the target, you keep pummeling the target because the media's going to try and pummel you. We are not going to take this and have not taken this laying down. We did already indict former Director Comey, and that's going through the judicial process. But we also, at this FBI, even though we uncovered what we uncovered back in the House Intel days, I had to come in here and find rooms that they hid from the world. I had to come in here and find access on our computer systems in restricted and prohibited case files that they purposely put in places for no one to see and find. We have found all this information. We are working with our Department of Justice partners, and I am never going to let this go because they not only have personally attacked the presidency of the United States and President Trump, but they tried to thwart our elections and rig the entire system.
They lied about Hunter Biden's laptop. They created Russia collusion out of whole cloth to throw the election and then try to remove Donald Trump from office with an impeachment. And the hell is coming. The hell that we have been promising is coming.
And that is not something that is going to stop on it. That is not something I'm going to allow on my watch. Right. But you just have to remember, they built this disease temple over 20 and 30 years. We've got all the evidence. I can announce on your show that we've got all the information we need. We're working with our prosecutors at the Department of Justice and their Attorney General Todd Blanche, and we are going to be making arrests.
I love this. I love this. I love this. Here is John Solomon. When it came to Hunter Biden's laptop, Jim Comey and this guy Mike Morello was the head of the CIA. They knew it was real. but they worked together to get those 51 intel professionals to lie about it, to take away a talking point and a valid reason not to elect Joe Biden before the debate.
A short while ago, Just the News obtained this email. This is a very important email. It comes from the former CIA director, Mike Morrell. Yes, the guy that organized that letter from the 51 intelligence professionals who tried to fake you into thinking that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation when it wasn't. Wow. It is between him and John Brennan, one of the signatories. You know who John Brennan is? He was Obama's CIA director, right? He's the guy that told Obama, hey, Hillary Clinton is doing a dirty trick on Donald Trump called Russia collusion. Well, this is just before
she created it. She needs to go to jail too.
The presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Hunter Biden's laptop is flinging out there. This is what Mike Morrell, former CIA director, tells his successor, John Brennan. Hey, sign this letter because I'm, quote, trying to give the campaign, particularly during the debate on Thursday, a talking point to push back on Trump on this issue. A man with a security clearance, a man with the title of CIA director, knew that he wasn't creating an intelligence product, a Merrick civic duty with 51.
Can you imagine? Former CIA director, present CIA director, plotting against the presidential candidate. This is bigger than all the president's men times a million. It's so thoroughly disgusting. Oh, I just want to see John Brennan die in prison. I do. Here is Harmeet Dillon talking about the laptop scandal.
The Atkinson situation. I mean, we just saw the news come out in the last couple of days about the CIA's weaponization of the...
We're talking about Inspector General Michael Atkinson manufacturing a conspiracy with Russia collusion, among other things, and, of course, covering up Hunter Biden's laptop.
Government and intelligence officials to concoct a fake narrative regarding the Hunter Biden laptop and sign on and lie to the American people. And they did that, many of them, on the government dime. And so there.
And then they censored us from saying it was real.
Some serious violations that may come out of that as well.
Oh, my God. John Solomon also says scummy James Comey, who's been real quiet lately. You know, he had 8647 spelled in seashells and everything, and he's starting singing Taylor Swift songs because, I don't know, maybe he's kind of in a closet or somewhere or whatever. Anyway, here he is, John Solomon, acknowledging James Comey was part of leaking.
And late last week, as we told you, he played the victim card. I'm being maliciously prosecuted because Donald Trump hates me. Well, today, the Kash Patel FBI and the lead attorney prosecuting his case, Lindsay Halligan, well, they responded, and they responded with a lot of evidence. What did they respond with? James Comey's own emails and his own handwritten notes. And what do they show? They show that James Comey was clearly aware that his top aide was providing information anonymously to the news media. Not only was he aware of it, he wrote in a private email, "Good job, my friend," actually congratulating him when Dan Richman, one of his...
And why did Jim Comey do this, attempt to sabotage Donald Trump and frame him?
And finally, one will ask, well, why would James Comey do this? What was the motive?
What is it?
Today's emails that were just released in the court filing give us one other answer.
What?
He wrote to Dan Richman, his lieutenant, that he fully expected soon to be working for President-elect Hillary Clinton. That's right from the emails. So he was waiting to work for Hillary Clinton, and he thought that Hillary Clinton would be grateful for the way he did things in handling her email case. That wasn't what the victim card I think James Comey was planning to play. But
I want to see him go to jail too. I'm gonna if they put these trials on TV, I'm gonna have the microwave popcorn ready. I'm gonna be watching it every night. Must see TV, ladies and gentlemen. Thane Rosenbaum, a legal analyst and law professor, joins us on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson. I just got a ghost bed. Yeah, no, pay attention here, because I've been sleeping on a foam mattress since I moved to the Washington, D.C. area, which is like sleeping on the sponge in your sink. Ghost Bed doesn't build mattresses like furniture. They build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment. Beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I have been sleeping past 7 in the morning on my Ghost Bed. It's unbelievable. If you wake up stiff, you toss and turn, if you sleep hot, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping tonight will be different, that's not aging. It's your mattress talking. Another great thing I love about GhostBed, you get 101 nights to try it at home. If you don't like the difference, you can send it back risk-free. GhostBed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. You are going to love your new GhostBed.
She's caught in a trap, and now she's out. Trump was right to fire you, Pam Bondi. We've not seen one arrest. It seems what you do best is protecting crooks such as John Brennan. Couldn't go on forever with suspicious lies, and nobody was buying your phony alibis. Epstein's client list you said did not exist, contradicting everything you told us. You really changed your tune. Only a buffoon would not suspect that something's fishy. No one has been indicted. You didn't even try. So hit the road, Pam Bondi. Time to say goodbye. She's caught in a trap.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I can still crush it at the gym, carry an armchair by myself, or do any home improvement project without pain during or after, and that's Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, the two things that matter most, it works and you trust it. Relief Factor was created by a combat-wounded Vietnam veteran. He decided to become a doctor simply to help people, to heal them. If pain is holding you back, find out why so many people, including me, make Relief Factor a part of their daily routine. Try the 3-week quick start today. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Tehran's leaders are crumbling. They're being taken out. Their headquarters are crumbling as the U.S. shows its clout. And that should tell them time to surrender. Call it a day before our troops blow you away. Throw in the towel while you still can, or you'll be down to your last man. More new missiles they were making, with more nukes deployed. Down the sites they have been taken, and we are overjoyed. They ought to know it's time to surrender. White flag should wave. Soon will be nothing left to save.
Tapper attempting to equivocate Donald Trump, saying he wanted to wipe out the Iranian regime, with anti-Israel protesters on campus shouting from the river to the sea and terrifying Jewish students.
And I just have to say, it's interesting that a 20-year-old college kid on a campus yelling from the river to the sea, that's worthy of condemnation. But a president of the United States who actually
You don't think it's worthy of condemnation? Jake, you don't think it's worthy of condemnation of students that are targeting Jewish students, that are physically assaulting them, that are spitting in their face, that are drawing swastikas on their doors?
I don't need a lesson
who have
on...
to hire security?
Yeah, you do. I don't need a lesson on what it's like to be a Jewish student.
Like those university presidents.
No, I'm not equivocating at all. I'm not equivocating.
With those university presidents.
I'm
what
asking
I've said
if
about
you're
President Trump's tweets is it has been very targeted.
No,
I am not equivocating. I have been crystal clear.
No, not when it comes to college kids, but when it comes to a president threatening to wipe out an entire civilization. I'm saying you're applying two different standards here.
The Iranian terrorist regime. Everyone seems to.
I got to tell you, Thane Rosenbaum, this guy, unbelievable. You got Jewish students who are terrified, hiding in libraries, being threatened with their lives after October the 7th, where Jewish people were slaughtered. And old Jake Tapper's over here going, oh, yeah, but Donald Trump said he's going to destroy the enemy, and he's making a comparison. What do you think of that?
This guy's Jewish. All right, that makes it even worse. He's an imbecile.
Wow.
You know, he's a self-hating Jew. He spends his entire day hating himself, and he's created a career that says, "Look at me, I'm Jake Tapper. I'm Jewish, and I hate myself.
I don't get
Look at how virtuous I am. I hate Jews. I hate Israel. I hate Donald Trump. Look at me. That's his entire career. He's a borderline imbecile." And that's basically how he's made his career, saying, I'm a Jew who hates myself. And
yeah,
so
I believe didn't he also miss that Joe Biden had dementia until the debate?
Yeah, you know, he missed he's not a fair arbiter of the news at a minimum, all right? And the worst part about it, he falls into that category of CNN reporters like Dana Bash, you know, and the guy, I forgot the name of the guy, who worked for Obama as a senior advisor from Chicago.
Not Rahm Emanuel. You're talking about what's his name? He's
the guy used to work for the Chicago Tribune.
Yeah, no longer has a job either. He's not in the media right now.
Yeah, no.
Chuck Todd. Was it Chuck Todd? Chuck Todd?
No. I keep forgetting guys.
That's all right.
These are all CNN. They hire Jews who hate themselves, and they're paid to say we hate Israel, we hate Jews, and we're proud of it. And so here she is. Here's Elise Stefanik, who's a hero, frankly, to the Jewish people.
I know she
is. An absolute hero, a total, virtuous woman, who's basically saying that he's doing what CNN has always done: dismiss any crime, any hatred of Jews. Just dismiss it. Toss it away. It doesn't matter. People are allowed to hate Jews. They're allowed to attack Jews. They're allowed to do anything, and no one's allowed to like Donald Trump.
It's unbelievable. And they started talking about how the Operation Epic Fury was a disaster on day one. They said it was a quagmire a couple weeks ago. They have said, everything they do is just the Democrat Party line, just counter Trump. That's the That's the CNN. CNN is the Democrat Party, with the exception of Scott Jennings and a few panelists who usually get filibustered. By the way, I didn't introduce you properly. Distinguished university professor at Touro University, legal analyst and essayist as well, among other things that you do, which is awesome. You live in New York.
Temporarily,
yeah, I know.
No. I'm probably among millions of people that have one foot out the door.
I have a feeling, and I could be wrong. Are you one of those people who have a second home valued at over $5 million in New York City?
No, I don't.
You don't? That surprises me.
I'm one of the few New Yorkers that really has nothing to fear from Mondami financially.
Oh, I swear to God.
The only problem I have, which is a significant problem,
is you're a Jew in New York.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, but look, the Jewish people of New York, the Democrats have embraced Mondami. They are the cousins of Jake Tapper.
Yeah.
They belong with Jake Tapper.
Yeah.
This is, again, I call that what I did, my little bit about Jake Tapper, and I hope the audience got how pointed an attack that is, because I call that moral narcissism.
Oh God,
it's
yes.
narcissism.
Yeah.
You know, it's narcissism. Shape Tracker thinks of himself as a good-looking guy who hates himself and proves that he has virtue because he can attack his own people.
They like
And
self-flagellation. They like self-flagellation as much as radical Islamists do. They just do it differently.
They'll get invited. They know they'll get invited to better parties. You know, they'll get a bigger contract from CNN.
Yeah.
Because he'll literally walk in and say, "Look at the service I performed for you.
Yeah.
I'm a Jew who hates myself."
Yeah, and they'll be the first to be slaughtered when the Islamists take over.
Yeah, well, he won't. That was the part that's really interesting. That he needed to be dressed down by Stefanik.
I love it.
Essentially, she crushed him because he. And again, I repeat, he's an imbecile.
He is
not easy, not difficult to crush. But in addition, she pointed out the hypocrisy that to him, any attack against Jews is easily explainable, easily justified. No big deal. If a Jewish person is hassled or spit upon or beaten up on campus, who cares? It doesn't make a difference. But if you like Donald Trump, you're evil.
Well, and then also I pointed out immediately, day one, when Donald Trump said he was going to wipe out the Iranian civilization and history, whatever, I said that the Ayatollah already did that. When was the last time you heard about Persian history coming out of Iran? When was the last time you heard an innovation coming out of Iran? When was the last time you heard of an invention coming out of Iran? It's all darkness. It's always been darkness. Just darkness and terror for 47 friggin' years.
Well, remember, the Iranians with brains and soul and talent live in L.A. and in Long Island.
Yeah, they
got out.
They all left. Yeah.
And that's number one. Number two, we don't really know the truth about the 50,000 people that were killed. You know what the truth is? The best of them were killed.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no doubt that what Iran lost, what the Persian people lost of the 50,000, that was the best of them. The Ayatollahs knew who to go after.
Yep.
They knew the people that didn't support them. They know the people who were not Islamists. They know the people that liked the West and would rather wear a suit than whatever they're wearing, or a woman who would rather wear a sleeveless shirt. They knew what they were dealing with. They said, we have a license now to kill everyone who's not a hardcore Sharia law loving Islamist.
And the left forgot those people. The left forgot those people as quickly as George Bush forgot the people crushed by the tanks in Tiananmen Square.
Yeah. And, I'll never forget, because I had a personal experience with that. I did an event with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, boy.
In 2009.
Wow.
And he was hosting the Oscars. And in 2009, it was the Green Revolution, the second revolution to try to undo the regime.
Yeah.
And someone called me and said, "I see you're doing an event with Alec Baldwin. Could you tell him to wear a green button on stage at the Oscars for the Green Revolution?" And whatever it is, Alec didn't. But the point was, Obama abandoned.
Of course he
all
did.
We do,
of course he did.
All we do is abandon the Iranians.
Yeah,
That's all we do. All we do is backflips to do something for the Palestinians when the Palestinians invented terrorism. And they are a main enemy of the United States as well.
Now,
Iran, similarly, we don't seem to care about terrorists to us. We bizarrely think they're our friends.
They've got to be wiped out. They've got to be wiped out. Listen, Thane Rosenbaum, we do have to take a break. Let's go ahead and take a break. More on this, and I also want to get to my Zoran Mandami, his Pierre de Terre tax, I guess, which Thane isn't worried about. But I am, because, I'm so money. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And yet, is the pied-à-terre tax an acknowledgement that you can't get a broader tax on the wealthy here in New York, which is what you promised and how you said you would pay for all of these programs?
I always said that I believed in the importance of taxing the rich. This is taxing the rich. And I said that the two ways that I thought were the most straightforward of doing so, personal income tax, corporate tax, those were the two ways that I thought we could achieve it in the most straightforward manner. Part of that is a reflection of the fact that a pied-à-terre tax has been something that has long been fought for in this city, but hasn't been possible to get over.
It is always a failure. That's the most important thing. This is just theft. This is the government looking for any way, shape, or form to steal from you. Steal from you. That's it. This is theft. There's no doubt about this. This is theft. You are not getting any return for it. You are only being penalized. You are only having things taken from you. This is theft. Thane Rosenbaum. And they use it under the guise because you're supposed to hate the rich, and so you can financially commit sexual assault on them, and it's perfectly fine. But if I were anyone, I'd say, you know what? Screw it. I'll just get a hotel room. I'll get the best hotel in the Ritz when I come to New York City, and avoid buying a home that costs $5 million or $200 million. What do you think?
I'll tell you this, Rob. If things go the way they're going, and I can tell you this because I know something about it. I was born in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And my parents, we had to leave here because we had mayors like Mondami, John Lindsay, and A. Beam. The city had such fiscal municipal problems that it almost went bankrupt.
Yeah.
And Gerald Ford was asked to bail out New York City, and there was a famous New York Post or New York Daily News cover that said, Ford says to New York, drop dead.
Yeah.
The city almost defaulted on its debt. You know what happened? My parents and everyone else moved.
Yeah.
And the city became like a shell of itself. And you know what actually happened to all those expensive apartments? They plummeted in price.
Yeah.
And the people that stayed here in the 1970s turned out to be geniuses because they were able to buy several brownstones. And I think that's where we're headed.
Oh, yeah.
Every day we're hemorrhaging New Yorkers. And this attack on the New York rich is going to devastate the tax base. And no city does well when you kick rich people out.
Yeah, and also I might mention, how many people are moving to New York since Zoran Mondami got elected, other than illegals? Nobody's moving here.
Nobody. No. And Florida and Texas is the beneficiary of the losses of Illinois and California and New York. So it may sound good, and what they did this on campus also. You mobilize the kids that don't know anything.
Yeah.
They put on masks and they start screaming and shouting, and it makes it sound like there's a movement. And Mondami and AOC, they've all corralled that crew. And so you have a lot of young people in this city who can't afford to buy anything. Of course not. Yeah. But the reality is they don't understand the city is going to be ruined if you destroy the tax base. All cities are destroyed when the city can't pay for social services or can't pay for transportation. I can tell you as a guy who's an older guy who travels the subway, it's more ominous, a little more menacing.
Yeah.
It's a little more dangerous.
Yeah.
This is going to look like, remember Death Wish from the 1970s?
Oh, yeah.
All those movies that made New York look really, really dangerous.
Yeah.
It's getting closer and closer. That's what happens when you want to defund the police and you threatening the rich with taxing them out of existence.
And then you had a baby shot to death in a stroller the other day. Dear God in heaven.
In Queens. Yeah, that means you can't let your kids go to school because other kids are going to be having a gunfight in the middle of school. This stuff didn't happen during the Bloomberg administration or the Giuliani administration. This stuff started to happen, with de Blasio and, of course, now full tilt with Mondami.
Unbelievable. Well, I don't know. I can't imagine why you still live there. I mean, obviously, it's difficult to move, particularly if you've lived there most of your entire life. But there's a point where maybe the abusive relationship isn't paying off anymore. Before we go, got about another minute. I want to talk about your article at the Jewish Journal, Trump's Tantrums. I think I love this. With the mullahs on their knees just begging for a knockout punch, be thankful for a vulgar man in the Oval Office, eager to deliver the final blow. Absolutely 1,000,000%, my friend.
I don't really care, about how Donald Trump presents himself.
Yeah.
It means nothing to me. I said in the essay, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, Do you really care that John F. Kennedy was really trying to sleep with Marilyn Monroe at that time? Not really. It doesn't really. No, what we wanted to beat Castro and the Soviets at that point. We had missiles pointed at the United States. Trump is a wartime president.
Yep.
You know, look what's happened during his. So he doesn't act presidential. Would I wish? Yeah, it would be better if he did, but it's not. You know, that doesn't take away from all.
Thane, the war has been on him for 10 years. Wouldn't you speak this way if the war was on you for 10 years? They tried to put you in jail, take you off the ballot, and kill you?
Yeah, good point, Rob. Good point, buddy.
I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous. It's like we're declaring a war on Iran. Iran declared a war on us 47 years ago. You know, now they've been at war on Donald Trump for 10 years. I'd be the same damn way. I'd be even more vulgar, to be quite honest. And I love his vulgarity because it gives it right back to him. I love the fact that we have a president like this who gives these people a little what for and kicks them in the nards. That's what I think. I'm glad. I'm actually thrilled. I love it every time. And I love the fact that he's giving the Pope a little what for, too, because the Catholic Church kind of has been known for making some pretty bad choices in the past with regard to children and the Jews.
Also, I wrote this week about the Pope because we forget. It sounds like Christians aren't allowed to be in wars, and what he's forgetting is that the Catholic popes put us in wars against Islamists. Most of the wars that was fought under Christians was against Islamists. Now we've given up on Islamists and we let them live in the Western civilization. Most of the wars fought in throughout the Middle Ages and before were Christians against Muslims.
Just here's it. We got to run. We got to run. Here's it. Pope, just stick to Scripture and tell us when to be at church on Sunday morning, and take care of the Catholic Church and get your bleep together. Because honestly, you have no business in politics. You're always wrong when these Jesuit liberals get in charge. JP was the last great Pope who had a good idea of what freedom was all about. Thane Rosenbaum, thanks for joining me today. Always a pleasure having you on.
Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
All right. Go to Thane Rosenbaum, by the way, on Twitter. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Sometimes I got to kind of shut him down because I could talk to him forever. When I get to the point where we're doing long-form podcasting, I'll talk to him for hours, man. There'll be no stopping. No stopping us now. Hello, Dookie Bear. Hello, Round a Pony. Oh. Hello, Chief Sinbad. Chief Sinbad, what's going on? And Mick Redchester, haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you back on the Rumbly Roo. YouTube, it's Scott Davies. Hi, Scott. Man, you're busy today, bro. You are busy today. A lot of talking from you, Gladys Kravitz. Hello. Just don't do it. 543. What's going on? Glad to have you watching today. Hope you're enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the show. I'm having a good time. America Marcy. America Marcy. Facebook. Who's watching on Facebook? Vicky Stevens. How am I? I'm okay. I'm good. I've got some stuff going on in my life, but I'm, keeping my chin up, staying positive. Realizing, had a delightful conversation with a preacher yesterday who's become a friend of mine. And it was really, it put things in perspective for me about the direction of my life and where I need to go, and how to keep on the course, on the straight and narrow, on the course that I need to stay on, and be the best that I can be. So it was a very good conversation with a man of the cloth yesterday. I didn't even go to church. I was driving back from Rehoboth. I got here and I met him, and I'd met him before, and we ended up having a great conversation, and it was very positive. So I'm very optimistic about the future of the country and the direction we're going in, and I believe my prediction that we are in a spiritual and a patriotic rebirth. We are 100%. Time for me to talk. County.
You have about 3 minutes.
Okay. Here is Kevin O'Leary responding to Zohran Mandami's taxing the rich with the tax just because you own a second home.
I ran for mayor. I said I was going to tax the rich. Well, today, we're taxing the rich.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to announce we've secured a pied-à-terre tax. the first in New York's history. This is an annual fee
based on envy and hate
on luxury properties worth more than $5 million, whose owners do not live full-time in the city.
You replied to Mamdani's video on X calling this, quote,
Kevin
the
O'Leary.
best commercial I've ever seen for Miami Beach real estate.
So you've got someone who spends $5 million or more, does not really use the place, but still pays maintenance, so supporting employees in the building, and property tax, but doesn't put any burden on the city services whatsoever.
Yeah.
How stupid a tax is this? Because you would want more people doing this, investing their capital in New York, not using any of the services of the city whatsoever, paying property tax all day long, even though they don't live there, paying for maintenance in the building. This is the stupidest policy I have ever seen in real estate.
It's going to crush. It's going to crush the high value New York City market for real estate, and it's going to kill the values of those homes too. So you know what? I'd wait around for the big collapse. Here is Kevin O'Leary on what's going to happen to Mamdani.
Mamdani's still in his honeymoon period. He's only been a mayor for a few months. It's amazing that his only policy moves that get lots of exposure, and it's smart because he's pretty savvy at social media, is to think of new ways to tax people.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk about efficiencies, executional skills, trying to run the city any better.
No.
That's not what he's doing. He's saying, look, I'm going to get you a lot of free stuff. We know for certain that he's going to try his free food program in Harlem soon. What I think is going to happen to him and many others that have tried this strategy of money for nothing and chicks for free is the weight of the policy finally breaks down. You know, it doesn't work. You can't get stuff for free. And actually selecting one element of the population for being successful and taxing them more than other people under the concept of their fair share is not fair enough is basically un-American.
This is what communists do and Marxists do. They can't earn. This is why they're so popular with academia, because, when you can't earn, you can't create, you teach. And nothing against all you teachers, but I'm going to tell you, this is what happens when you're filled with envy and hatred because you're not successful. That's what Zohran Mamdani is all about. A bunch of losers hating those people who are successful and stealing from them. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. If I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 3 of the show today. The number 10, top 10 podcast for political commentary in the entire country. We found that out last week. We entered the top 10. We're right behind like Tucker Carlson, soon hopefully dropping out of the top 10. Let's see, Megyn Kelly and Victor Davis Hanson and Ben Shapiro and Glenn Beck and Dan Bongino. We're in the top 10. Wow. And number 42 in news. What? Number 42 in news. All right, get your news from me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. Overall podcast, of all the podcasts in the country, all of them in the country, the millions of podcasts out there, about, news, about cooking, about Bigfoot, sightings or whatever. Number 250. 250? I know. Just go to your usual podcast platforms and look up Rob Carson Show. When I moved to Washington, D.C. 8 months ago, I said I'm going to have to make a noise nobody can ignore. And that's been my mantra. And we're doing that. And doing it in a different way. And I think the reason why it is because we're bringing comedy with it. We're bringing the spirit of Rush Limbaugh with us. So I couldn't be prouder. It took me by surprise. It knocked me on my butt last week. I said, what? And I saw the list, and they're like, yeah, Rob, look at this. And Mr. Ruddy, I want to thank you for discovering me. I want to thank you for discovering me when everybody else had discarded me. I am here for Chris Ruddy. I owe him. And you should watch Newsmax because it's run by a very great man, and it's a great organization. So there you go. NewsmaxTV.com. Download the Newsmax app. Does Rush Limbaugh sleep on a ghost bed? Probably. That's proud to be a Jew on Rumble. One of the people who are chatting online because we have a massive streaming audience. Yeah, he probably does. I'll bet you Rush does. He does. So there you go. New York Mets fans are lashing out at socialist New York Mayor Zoran Mondani, blaming him for the team's 10-game losing streak. After the 10th loss, furious fans are claiming the video of Mondani meeting up with the Mets mascots has jinxed the team. The viral video shows Mr. Mondani hugging Mr. and Mrs. Met in the stadium's hallways. I'll bet that guy doesn't even know the rules of baseball. I'll bet he doesn't know a damn thing about baseball. He's probably never even thrown a baseball. I'll bet he's never even played catch. 100%. He's such a soy boy. Such a little soy boy. He's never had a job. What a loser. What a loser. I wouldn't want to be seen with him. Hey, here's an idea. If you're gonna Mets, you're gonna hug Zoran Mondani. How about you give away those $9 hot dogs for free? How about that? How about you bed down with Zoran Mondani and those $15 beers you sell at the stadium, you give them away for free? How about that? Bed down with the devil. That's what happens. Virginia Outlook shows rising cost and job losses. Presentations to lawmakers show the state has lost 31,600 jobs since the start of the fiscal year, 20,000 being federal positions. Sorry, get a real job. Too bad, so sad. I'm not going to pay to work anymore or stay home in the case of 94% of government workers since COVID. Virginia officials told lawmakers this week the job losses, rising health care costs, potential federal policy changes could increase financial pressure on the Commonwealth, even as revenues coming in higher than expected. Here's the deal. The reason why the damn houses around here start, the median price of a home in Fairfax and Loudoun County is $775,000. You know why? Government jobs. Government jobs that pay 70%, all in all, 70% better than the private sector. I know this because I suffered in the private sector. At the same time, Virginia's labor market weakening. Presentations to lawmakers show the state has lost, again, 31,600, 20,000. The employment rate has risen to 3.7%. Labor participation rate declined to 63.8%. And then you've got this idiot, psychotic, crazy cat lady as the governor. Vote no on redistricting the state of Virginia. And I'm going to stay here and fight. I'm going to stay here and fight. We're going to beat this attempt to steal our representation tomorrow. And then we're going to take it from there, and we're going to get this psychotic liar recalled. That's what I want to do. RFK Jr. says that 500 hospices have been shut down in L.A., and none of them have complained. Nobody went to the state afterwards and said, you can't shut us down. Here is RFK Jr. talking to Beth Van Dyne in the House.
And we asked him what he was doing about it. Basically, nothing.
Can you walk through what your office is actually doing on the waste, fraud, and abuse to make sure that we don't
We've
see this
already
happening
shut
again?
down 500 hospices in Los Angeles. And incidentally, we haven't had one call from Congress or anybody else about complaining, because clearly these were fraudulent. A lot of these places, you'd say
they're saying federally up to $521 billion a year is stolen from us. This is worse than the Soviet Union. Up to $521 billion a year. This is the greatest criminal crime family in the history of the stinking world. Our federal and state governments, particularly in Democrat-run states, crime family, stealing $500 billion a year from us.
They'd have, they were just invented addresses. They would obtain patient identification, or they would pay people. They were going and giving people in poor neighborhoods flat-screen televisions, $600, and then they would enlist them and enroll them in the hospice, and we were paying them $6,000. And the interesting thing is, almost none of them ever died.
Yeah.
Typically, they stay in a hospice about 18 days. These people stayed forever. Nothing ever happened because they weren't actually there.
Yeah, and everybody in government in California, every Democrat knew the damn thing was happening. Everybody in Minnesota in government knew exactly what was happening in Minnesota. They knew exactly what was happening. They went after the people who were the whistleblowers. They tried to destroy their lives. Tim Wultz, I hope you spend your frickin' life in jail. You and Keith Ellison and Ilhan Omar, I hope you are deported and denaturalized, flat broke, back to Somalia. She's been real quiet lately. Have you noticed that? She's been all sorts of quiet lately. She's been all hush, hush, hush. Not as mouthy as she used to be. Not as mouthy. But you know what they're doing in California? They're trying to go after the journalist who exposed this fraud. They literally are. They want to, just like want to do in Virginia. They want to make it so if you're an NGO or you're a charity that gets government money, you cannot be investigated for fraud. And then in California, they're going to go after journalists like Nick Shirley who exposed the fraud. This is a Stalinistic attempt to take. This will not stand. This will not stand. Here is Nick Shirley confronting the author of the bill. The Stop Nick Shirley Act is what they're calling it, where they go after journalists for exposing fraud. This is so bloody insane. I couldn't even imagine something so dark, something so awful in a country that has the First Amendment. Honestly, this is the kind of stuff that revolutions are built on.
Here's one of the authors of the bill. How are you guys doing?
And they're cowards.
I want to ask you about the bill and why you guys would pass this bill that really is an attack on free speech.
I am not even sure what you're talking about.
Really?
You said
You know exactly what he's talking about. My God.
an author. I don't think.
Yes.
I'm an
Did you
author.
pass out? Did you sign to pass this bill? The AB 26?
No, I don't
24?
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what
You know what I'm talking about?
You're a liar.
No.
You're a
You do
filthy
not.
liar.
No,
Are you
guys
serious?
And a coward. Filthy, rotten liar
We're
and a
talking
coward.
about something random. Okay.
And a
Speaker
Marxist.
Rivas, how are you doing?
You're going after another one here.
What do you think about the Stop Nick Shirley Act? AB 2624.
See, this is what they do. They hide. They don't do interviews with you. You can't confront them. They are surrounded by a phalanx of security, so you can't confront them. You have no representation. You have no say. You have no say. And that happens in Washington, D.C., too. They surround themselves, they don't hear what you do, and they do the opposite of what you want. And this includes Republicans and Democrats.
I don't know anything about it. And do you think there's any conflict of interest there with Mia Bonta?
Yeah, the woman writing the bill is the wife of the AG of California, the Attorney General. It does not get more corrupt than this.
Husband being the AG. That just shows you everything you need to know. These people won't even answer the questions. You're a co-author of the Stop Nick Shirley Act. Oh, you know who I am. My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
Yeah, they know
you
who
signed
you are.
off on the AB 2624 Act. Can you tell us about what you did on that?
I don't even know who you are.
Well, my name's Nick Shirley.
You're a liar.
But could you please just answer any question about the AB 2624 bill? A lot of people are worried.
These people need to be confronted everywhere they go. This is just absurd. Here he is. She's going after the House Speaker in the state of California, who should be removed. These people, I mean, when Steve Hilton gets into office, he needs to go after every one of these with the power of the legal system.
The bill AB 2624, why would you sign off on that? It's a direct violation of the First Amendment, and it makes it harder for people to expose fraud here.
We have Ledge Council. They check the constitutionality of all our bills as we're writing them. I work on
They're cutting off the gravy train to Democrats.
fraud issues. You'd know that if you look at some of the work I did on the budget subcommittee.
Amazing. So Mia Bonta, her husband's Attorney General of the Attorney General of California, and it was only until I exposed fraud that they actually cracked down on the fraud and made some arrests here, especially with the hospices. And do you know that if this bill were to pass, it'd make it illegal for someone to go after fraud, especially if it's based off of immigrants, for instance, the Armenians in California?
No, I think that's a misinterpretation of the bill.
It's not.
But
It's not
I'm
at all.
happy to
It popped up as soon as he exposed all the fraud. You wrote the damn bill as soon as he exposed the fraud.
more about it. And
Don't
fraud
you
and
worry.
investigations into fraud are something that's been happening
No, it
for
hasn't.
a very long time.
No,
the
it
Attorney
hasn't.
General handles those cases.
No, it hasn't.
This is an ongoing
weird
issue.
that the wife of the Attorney General, Mia Bonta, is now pushing this bill that literally goes against the First Amendment.
No, I actually don't. I don't think
You are a deceiver. There has to be accountability for these people. I swear to God. I will do everything I can with my national platform and my glorious affiliate KSCO to get Steve Hilton elected, and then get a new AG in there and gut this filthy, rotten capital of all of its corruption and throw some people in jail. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Early started doing investigations into all sorts of other fraud that's all around Los Angeles with hospices and all these different things, and they're finding hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh no, billions.
Fraud.
But not
like
for
that.
much longer, because he could be facing a $10,000 fine.
Isn't that crazy?
According to the new California bill yesterday.
So this is a
whatever.
new bill. Instead of saying, wow, thank you for uncovering this fraud.
Where are all the journalists out there? Where are the journalists, supposed journalists, crying out that an investigative journalist, an undercover journalist who exposed trillions of dollars in fraud, all in all, trillions of dollars in fraud, and they want to create legislation and pass legislation to go after the journalist and cover up the fraud.
They passed a bill
What the hell?
that if you film things and you go to a place and identify that place, and then somehow or another those people, get harassed or something because of it, you could get fined.
Phone.
What an insane response. What an insane response.
It's a cartel.
Instead of thanking someone for uncovering criminal fraud, you make a new law.
This is Joe Rogan with Spencer Pratt, by the way.
Where you turn them into criminals.
These people are laundering more money than El Chapo.
Yeah.
Like this. That's what I keep trying to say.
It's billions. Billions and billions of dollars.
Real criminals. Like the Gotti, all these people we used to think were mobsters at the Italian shops back in the day, they couldn't even comprehend what's going on right now.
The Democrat Party is a $1 trillion organized crime family. I told you this. I told you this like last year, the year before. I said they're the giant organized crime family. They're a giant there's absolutely, that's exactly what they are. An organized crime family. La Cosa Nostra. Unbelievable. It is just so thoroughly disgusting. And this attack on the First Amendment is the worst thing I've seen since they called our opinions disinformation and misinformation, like Joseph Stalin called disinformatia. He came up with it in 1923. That's how evil our government has become. My God. Let's see. Oh, Dr. Oz. Listen to Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz kind of reminds me of the movie Tombstone with Kurt Russell riding into town saying, "I'm coming and I'm bringing hell with me." Listen to Dr. Oz. You don't expect this from diminutive Dr. Oz.
If you're defrauding Medicare, listen carefully.
Come on.
If you're defrauding Medicare, start running, because we are coming for you. Don't walk, run away.
You betcha. I love it.
Walking over to meet the SWAT team.
They're going to do a raid.
Not dawn yet, obviously. Just before 5 a.m. Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And these folks are, within the hour, going to be busting down doors and pulling folks out of their homes. We got a bunch of hospice operators who've been getting away with fraud and corruption for a long time. 500
of them shut down.
That ends today.
And the Democrats go after the journalists who exposed it.
That's heading out.
Because it's cutting off their gravy train.
That the FBI and U.S. Attorney and DOJ are so engaged in actions necessary to stop hospice fraud in California. All right, so we just got here. They asked us to pull aside.
Go get them.
Stand by.
Kick down some doors.
Definitely going to be noticed now. You see the second vehicle's entering just down below the hill. This sort of windy road is difficult to navigate. They just got through that was fast.
Busting through a gate. Yeah. Flashbangs.
They're making enough noise that there's no way you can stay in that house. Plus,
The FBI.
Oh.
We have a warrant.
you can see the culprit back there. They're putting it in the back of the truck. You have healthcare professionals who are actually defrauding the government. These guys have taken maybe $8 million of bills from hospice programs, and that's how they buy these beautiful houses, theoretically. But now he's in the back of a van going to jail.
Why isn't Zoran Mondale going after those rich people who stole all the money from us? Well, you and I wonder how the hell we're going to pay rent next month or health care next month. I'll tell you what. And I told you this, and I posted a video today online about. It was Sunday night. Last night I was down by the Potomac River, and it's so breathtakingly beautiful, and I'm occasionally taken by it. That I live here, and there is a movement toward God and patriotism that I cannot be denied. I talked to a pastor yesterday. I met this guy a while back, Pastor Stan. And I ran into him in Old Town, and we ended up having a hours-long conversation. And I really believe it. I really believe it. That this is a baptism by fire the American country, the country needed, and evil is on its heels, and evil is digging its heels in and clawing and scratching and trying to dragging us into hell with it. They're trying to do it tomorrow in Virginia by taking away our representation as Republicans in the state of Virginia, and we will drive these SOBs into the pits of hell. We will. We will. And you know, here's the thing: 80% of us are going to come together to heal our country, come together, whether we're Democrats or Republicans, and save it. Here's Greg Gutfeld talking. I better save this. Because you know I kind of sometimes nail this stuff. In case you didn't know, I said that 80% of the country believes we're headed in the wrong direction. 80% of us will come together to fix it. And Greg Gutfeld, last week, echoes the thing that I've been saying for years. We can do this. We can do this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and play him right now. Here is him going and basically showing exactly what's wrong with the Democrat Party, and she is down with it.
You can't understand Trump because his political decisions align with his personal and patriotic ones. You understand Kamala. You understand Gavin. You understand Biden because their political decisions are divorced from the things people want. Yes. Why are you on the 20 of every 80-20 issue? Yes. It's because you divorced political desires from human needs. Yes. And then you have to dress up your decisions as compassion when they're merely wants from an activist class. The thing about Trump is, I don't care whether you like him or hate him, you're suffering from the Trump-America alignment problem. Political, personal, and patriotic desires all stack up, which means what he wants, the country tends to want. If it's 80-20, he's on the 80, you're stuck on the 20.
They wanted the tariffs.
Your defenses are getting more and more narrow because we keep saying the same thing every day. It's because we have to, because you don't listen. Yeah, I told you. You've got the Democrat people, voters. 95% of them don't think boys can become girls and compete in girl sports. 73% of them say voter ID is cool. 100% of Democrats on Capitol Hill vote against them. You have no representation. You 80% of Democrats, reinvent your party, save your country from the abyss, and we can come together. My Democrat brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, we can come together and save this country. We can. As far as you know, King's protesters, you're done. You're toast. You're cooked. It's those people in D.C. who are wrong. They're the 20. Hey guys, it's Carson. You know my signature phrase, don't catch the stupid. When it comes to Medicare, that's easier said than done. Medicare is overly complex with thousands of plans, hidden gotchas in the fine print, and rules nobody really explains to you. Many people just pick something and hope for the best. That's why you need to know about Chapter. They're the only advisor that looks at every plan in the country, matches your doctors, your prescriptions, and your situation to a plan that fits your needs. When your call with Chapter is done, you know your doctors are covered. Your prescriptions are matched, and you go from, I hope I did this right, to, I know I did. That, my friends, is peace of mind. A call with Chapter is free for my audience, and there's no pressure to sign up. Call Chapter today. Here's the number, 27 Medicare. That's 27 MEDICARE. 27 Medicare for Chapter. No pressure. What's your excuse? Call 27 Medicare and don't catch the stupid yourself. Call 27 Medicare today. Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I can still crush it at the gym, carry an armchair by myself, or do any home improvement project without pain during or after, and that's Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, the two things that matter most, it works and you trust it. Relief Factor was created by a combat-wounded Vietnam veteran. He decided to become a doctor simply to help people, to heal them. If pain is holding you back, find out why so many people, including me, make Relief Factor a part of their daily routine. Try the 3-week quick start today. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com. Or call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Hey guys, it's Carson. I just got a ghost bed. Yeah, no, pay attention here, because I've been sleeping on a foam mattress since I moved to the Washington, D.C. area, which is like sleeping on the sponge in your sink. Ghost Bed doesn't build mattresses like furniture. They build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment. Beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I have been sleeping past 7 in the morning on my Ghost Bed. It's unbelievable. If you wake up stiff, you toss and turn, if you sleep hot, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping tonight will be different, that's not aging. It's your mattress talking. Another great thing I love about Ghost Bed, you get 101 nights to try it at home. If you don't like the difference, you can send it back risk-free. Ghost Bed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. You are going to love your new Ghost Bed.
In America.
It is the Rob Carson Show. I just had a little misfire there. It happens every once in a while, particularly after I eat Mexican food. Weird! It's so weird. Anyway, welcome back to the show. We have much to get to before the end of the radio program. America Reads the Bible is going on this week. Yeah. There's a Museum of the Bible here. I haven't been yet. I need to go. I need to go. America Reads the Bible. They're reading the entire Bible this week. I think it's pretty amazing. The president's going to read it tomorrow night. Overwhelm the left with joy and patriotism and faith. I'm not here to proselytize. I'm not here to Bible bang. But I'm telling you, wouldn't you rather have that than darkness and envy and hate and theft of votes like Democrats are doing? Isn't that a much better place to do? You ever watch these No Kings protests? These people are insane. They use profanity. They scream at you. Do you want to be on that side, Democrats? I'm asking you. You don't, do you? You don't. You don't. America Reads the Bible. I think that's spectacular. I might have to go to the Museum of the Bible website, see if it's streaming. I might listen to that tonight. I think that might be a good idea. In fact, I think I know I'm going to do that. How's that sound? I think it sounds pretty cool. Harmeet Dillon talking about American elections, because over here in Virginia, they're trying to eliminate your representation if you're a Republican. Is it going to be greeted about as well as the Nick Shirley Act going after journalists in California? These are the desperate acts of a party descending into the pits of hell. There you go. I know. It's like, you got to repeat these things, You got to repeat these things. But here's Harmeet Dillon talking about elections and how, and you know this as well as I do, they are not free and fair.
If we don't have free and fair elections, including elections that are free from this kind of manipulation, weaponization, lying, cheating, and stealing that we have seen evidence of, I think it's very bad for our country. And I personally am here to make sure that we don't have that outcome. And all our colleagues who are political appointees at the DOJ at the high level are committed to it as well. Now, there are many cases where we've had lawyers burrowed in at the DOJ and in other agencies as well who are not with the team and, in fact, who participated in some of the bad acts in prior administrations. So part of what we've been doing this past year is house cleaning, and we've been doing that in a number of different ways. And, I'm happy to share with you some of the things we found in house cleaning. At the DOJ, people have been burrowed in there for decades doing political partisan.
Yeah, it's like just filth and rot. Filth and rot, like termites. You don't see them until the house collapses. Here she is saying that many states that she's going after, these Democrat-run states, are trying to clean up the voter rolls. And for some reason, Democrats are fighting. No wonder why that is. Oh, yeah, because they want to steal votes, and they've been stealing elections for a very long time.
I'm suing 29 states and the District of Columbia for their refusal to give us the voter rolls, to which the Attorney General or the Acting Attorney General is entitled under the Civil Rights Act of 1960. Yeah. We're doing that to make sure that states are in compliance. And guess what? States are not in compliance, even those ones who want to. So for the ones that we've run so far, 60 million records that we've run, we found at least 350,000 dead people currently on the voter rolls in those jurisdictions.
Yeah, there you go. Here is Harmeet talking about illegals voting, and yes, of course they are, and yes, it was a plan to bring them in to do that.
Approximately 25,000 people with no citizenship records to the to Homeland Security to look at, dig into that further. And
yeah, and that's the Democrat states covering it up. In California, they're covering it up. They will not turn over the records because there's probably hundreds of thousands or millions.
See the extent to which people voted. I'm in touch with voting rights activists who are showing me information about people who have voted who are not American citizens. And so the left told us this never happens and it's a myth.
Yes,
it definitely happened. Just recently, someone was indicted in Minnesota, of all places, for voting.
Oh, that's only one person.
Without being a citizen. And so I've sent a document request to them on that. Minnesota has a weird vouching law that allows citizens to vouch for each other's citizenship. That's crazy and inconsistent with the Help America Vote Act.
Yeah. It's coming to it's what?
A young 20-year-old looking around, you're like, oh my God, there's zombies everywhere.
Brian?
Rent's so much. All the restaurants are closing.
Hold on one second, Brian. You're up. Okay. Sorry, we had a little ghost in the machine. A little ghost in the machine, kind of weird. I don't know why that happens, but sometimes it does. But anyway, we're back. But it's going to take a while to cut this rod out to replace the wood. Rob Finnerty was talking to Tom Fitton. I guess last week, talking about the FBI. The FBI, I don't know if you knew that they had this secret room in the FBI headquarters, and it was filled with classified documents exposing all sorts of fraud, and the weaponization of the DOJ. And they had put all these documents into burn bags, and they weren't able to burn them in time. And here's Rob Finnerty talking to Tom Fitton about this. Oh, hold on one second. Had to reset everything because of the ghost of the machine.
Him electing leadership across the United States.
This is Cash Patel.
An unbelievable story at the FBI dating back to the James Comey era. A secret room at FBI headquarters in Washington that is allegedly filled with piles of documents, the majority anti-Trump documents, all deliberately hidden in burn bags.
When the United States government and agency heads want things to disappear and want things to be buried and hidden, they know how to do it. But what they didn't count on was President Trump winning, him electing leadership across the United States government to say, go find out how they corrupted and weaponized law enforcement.
This is the retribution we've been waiting for. And it's kind of hard to recognize because we've been waiting so long for this that it's almost unbelievable that it's finally here. Oh, by the way, they're holding up the new Fed chair nomination because they want to cover up the fraud associated with this new friggin' Fed building. It was supposed to be, $100 million renovation. It's $2 billion in this building, and it's just all graft and corruption. And there are Republicans who are covering for them. $2 billion in one stinking building, which, by the way, an agency that probably should just get rid of. But Republicans are trying to shut down the fraud investigation into the man who is the head, Jerome Powell, who is crooked as the day is long, and his $2 billion renovation that is loaded with graft and absolute corruption. Absolute. Here is Tom Fitton on the lawfare lunatics who went after Donald Trump.
So Dan Bongino and Cash also, as you can see, talked about these records that were either in burn bags or in hidden rooms. So we said, well, give us those records, right? And we were stalled and we didn't get the records. We sued. And to their credit, the FBI disclosed specifically just how many records were at issue, generally what they covered. As I said, Jack Smith, and it could go back who knows how far in terms of other investigations that were political into Trump or related issues. Who knows what other special counsel investigations they're hiding or other IG investigations they're hiding. Could be Russiagate, for example. But what the lawfare lunatics were engaged in was a plot to undo our republic by trying to jail President Trump when he was president and then when he was running for president.
Now, when they put us through that too, by the way. that impeachment of Donald Trump for nothing in the first term. They put us through that. They took away our vote. They took away our victory over Hillary Clinton. She got her rear end kicked, and by the way, substantial rear end. Absolutely kicked. They didn't expect it, and so they immediately went after Donald Trump and us. And they have taken away our joy, and they have taken away so much from us, and it's time that they were held accountable. I've got more on the other side of the break, and then also Joe DeGeneva going to be taking over the Russia collusion hoax investigation. Woo! Feces meet fan, fan meet feces. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Veterans and...
Here's some more of Rob Pitterney with Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch, by the way. He's outstanding. A big fan of his for a number of years. And Donald Trump knows what's going on. He knows what's being discovered by the FBI, the burn bags, now John Brennan discovered that James Comey, possibly John Brennan, looks like it could be indicted very soon for not only lying to Congress, Jim Comey also for leaking classified documents, among other things. There's a whole bunch of stuff they did to try to destroy Donald Trump. The Hunter Biden laptop lie, which we now know that Brennan was involved in, also the previous CIA director were involved in the 51 Intel officials hoax, where they gave that to discredit the talking point of the truth of Hunter Biden's laptop and the corruption of the Biden family. $35 million from the Chinese Communist Party, 27 LLCs, 9 family members. Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Then, of course, the Russia collusion hoax, which was a giant lie, created by Hillary Clinton, pushed by Barack Obama to destroy Donald Trump's presidency and effectively a coup d'etat. And I hope that Obama gets a perp walk too. 1,000%. Here is Rob Finnerty about how long this is going to take.
Well, the FBI says they need a year. I'm hoping leadership at the Justice Department and the FBI recognize that this is a priority issue and they speed up the review of these documents. The Epstein file shows it can be done where there's a political will. And I'm hoping there's a political will to expose these lawfare documents.
Very good point. And I'll just add to that, that because of your work and you coming on tonight, the White House is aware of this. Donald Trump is aware of this, whereas a couple of weeks ago, he didn't know about this. So now he knows. So I think that there will be something done to expedite that process. So. A year seems like way too much time.
I hope so, 100%. John Solomon announcing here, Joe DeGeneva, pretty amazing guy, will be sworn in today as counsel to the Attorney General to lead the Russia collusion hoax investigation. Here is John Solomon with that news. This is going to be big.
Now, more firepower came, also in that same story that I broke about Thune on Saturday morning. Joe DeGeneva, the former U.S. attorney, the former independent counsel, the guy that put Marion Barry away and many of his corrupt administration officials, the former D.C. mayor back in the Reagan 80s, and the man who also captured and convicted Jonathan Pollard, the Israeli spy. He's been sent to Florida to sort of become the new chief prosecutor down in Fort Pierce.
Yay.
That's a lot of firepower. Now, keep in mind, he's just starting on Monday, so he's going to today. He gets sworn in. He's going to have to get read in a few days. But I don't think that slows things down. I think the process is already underway in Florida to try to achieve the first couple of indictments at the end of April. But the John Thune thing, the Senate dragging its feet again, that is a real dynamic that has slowed the investigation down.
They did everything. They tried everything. This is why the left doesn't understand why we are devoted to Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. Tucker Carlson doesn't understand it. All of these elites in the Republican blogosphere, Megyn Kelly, they don't understand it, why you and I would fight for this man and the country is founded. They don't understand it. We watched it all in real time. We watched it during an election year where he had to go out on the campaign trail and then show up in court for a case that was made up of bull crap, created out of whole cloth. And they tried to do, and then we go back on the campaign trail and they tried to kill him twice. I think you don't understand. If you don't understand it, you better get the hell out of the way because we are not going anywhere. We will get our justice. This is, the fake impeachment of Donald Trump because of a phone call to the leader of Ukraine, even though Joe Biden was absolutely in the pants of the Ukrainian oligarchs. His son was hired by the oil company and had no experience whatsoever. He's getting $1 million, much money a year. For not knowing anything, but and then of course the oil company that he was involved in, Burisma, was under investigation, and Joe Biden had the prosecutor looking into the corruption of that company fired, and threatened them with $1 billion in loan guarantees. It doesn't get any more corrupt than that. I mean, my God. But Donald Trump has he says to the Ukrainian president, hey, you really ought to look into this, and they made it into some sort of case of Donald Trump, and they even had two whistleblowers say that, oh yeah, Donald Trump, he had a phone call with the Ukrainian leader and all of that. Donald Trump said release the transcript. Guess what? They used hearsay evidence for the first time ever in an impeachment to try to take down Donald Trump.
This is something that, again, there's
Tulsi Gabbard, by the way.
Further lies being told in the transcripts of this former Inspector General Atkinson when he went and testified before the House Intelligence Committee, where he was directly asked this question that you're asking here now, and he's making claims, oh, well, the law required me to do it. That's complete nonsense. The law did not require him to do it. The responsibility is with the Inspector General to deem whether or not a complaint is credible and whether or not it is urgent. How do you find a complaint to be credible when there is zero evidence provided and there is zero firsthand knowledge provided, not only by the whistleblower, by any witness in this case? And when
there was no evidence at all, no witnesses, hearsay evidence.
Inspector General himself did not even request to see the documents.
Inspector General Michael Atkinson, who hopefully will spend a lot of time in jail,
that these individuals are referencing in their false accusations. And so it was obviously, to me, part of this plot to change the standard, which the Inspector General did, from requiring that there be either evidence or first-hand knowledge presented in order to determine whether or not a complaint is credible, to merely allowing for hearsay and nothing else.
And they did this for 4 years. Then they went after him for 4 years, tried to put him in jail, tried to take him off the ballot, tried to kill him. And then we got it back in office, and what are they doing? No kings. Elon Musk is a Nazi. We're going to use the 25th Amendment. Caterwauling like demons in hell. And I got to tell you, I'm done. I want the spanking to happen. Done with this temper tantrum. We've done it with 10 years, and I'm done. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty. I got to grab something here real quick. Here we go. I got something I'm going to play next. And now I'm going to talk to you. Hi, Sandra. Sandy18. What's going on? How are you? I love my 3 hours with Rob Carson, y'all. Thank you, Dookie Bear. I appreciate it. My wife didn't. The Rob Carson Show is awesome, Sandy18. Stop it, you guys. Oh, my God. I do appreciate you more than you'll ever know. I feel like I can see you guys. And I know I can. I can feel your presence. I know. I can see you. I can see you talking to me, and I can see you. Glad to have you here. We are warriors. We are warriors. Kim Cage, hey, fans, I got a profitable proposal for the first 5 people to... Oh, please. No, stop trying to sell crap to my chats here, my live chat people. Stop trying to sell crap. Keep that stuff out of here. I got time for that nonsense. Go create your own podcast and radio show. Hello over on Rob. We love you more than your crazy ex-wife. You want to hear something funny? I'm going to tell you a story. And listen, can I tell you something? I still love my wife. Okay? She's not crazy. But this last week, I started praying every night that she's happy. I want her to be happy. I want her to be happy. I want her to spend the rest of her life happy. I do. I saw her. She has a Match.com profile, and it was kind of interesting. I looked at it as, unattached. It didn't bother me. And I read it, and I said I wouldn't date that person. Here we go. There's the Rob Carson Show. Getting ready to wrap things up. I was just having a conversation online. We work together to form a more perfect union. We try all the time, and then also in our lives, I would hope that you try to become a better person as you live your life. And I've had a lot of things happen. I was starting to stray a little bit from the course that I needed. I think God had for me, and it got a little kick in the pants. And so I know my purpose. I know my purpose. Entertain, inform, and motivate, and witness. So that's my thing here. And this last couple of weeks, I went through the divorce and everything, and I've been talking to God, and every night I pray that my ex is happy. I want her to be happy. I want her to be happy. I do, from the bottom of my heart. I want her to be happy. I want her life to be blessed. There's no she's crazy. There's no this and that. She's somebody who I loved very dearly, and I still do care for. But I want her to be happy. So there you go. That was a big weight off my heart. It was a big weight off my heart. She's the mother of my children. I want her to be happy. So there you go. I got to play this again. Jim Gossett singing about Abigail Scampergler trying to steal our elections in Virginia tomorrow, and it's not going to work. Vote no. Thank you very much. Only on the Rob Carson Show right here, people.
A scheme, Abigail's voting scheme, to take votes away from each state, circumvent the Electoral College.
We're not going to let it happen.
Must stop them before it's too late.
We're going to King George the
There's
hell
a
out of you.
request. Votes they want to rig. Results will be massive. The theft will be big.
You've awakened the sleeping giants.
Abigail has betrayed. She has sold out her state.
Psycho cat lady.
It's unconstitutional. There can't be any debate.
Bury in a litter box.
So wrong. We must end it today.
Vote no. In fact, vote hell no. But vote. This has got to stop. God bless you. America is founded, created by the state of Virginia, by the way. Donald Trump, the great job he's doing, our military, you guys, and until tomorrow, do not catch the stupid. I love you guys. I'll see you then.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.